Hello, my name is Nia. I'm one of the pharmacists here at University Hospitals Dorset, and I'm going to be speaking about a project that we're running on the paediatric ward, and which we're referring to as Pill School, where we essentially teach children how to swallow tablets and capsules rather than relying on liquids. So let me just share with you some slides. There you go. So Pill School. So why is it that we are hoping to get children off of liquid and onto tablets and capsules? So just thinking about liquids, when they come in a bottle, often they're very large bottles, so 200 ml, 300 ml bottles. And there can be a lot of wastage. Often they have a short expiry, so once opened, discard within 3 months. And often they're not fully completed, and so there's a lot of wastage there. Also, say with antibiotics, they come as a 100 ml bottle. They might only need 40 mils of that, and so 60 mils is wasted when the course is completed. There's also wastage when it comes to the paraphernalia, so the plastic spoons that we provide, the oral syringes that we provide as well. So it can have quite a negative environmental impact. Also, it can be quite inconvenient for parents to store the bottles. If it's a 300 ml bottle, it can be really heavy, particularly if the child is on multiple liquid medicines. So it's inconvenient going out and about. Also, some of the liquids, particularly antibiotics, require fridge storage. So say you want to go out for the day, it's really inconvenient thinking about how long can I keep that bottle out of the fridge, and working around when to administer the medicine as to when you can go out. So quite inconvenient storage wise. Also, they can be significantly more expensive. Take nitrofurantoin, for example. Very inexpensive in its tablet capsule form, but as liquids, we're talking over £100 for a bottle. So big price difference with some of the medication. Also, some of the medicines really taste really yucky and not very nice for the children. They can contain high content of alcohol, high sugar content as well. So not always the nicest in terms of taste either. So we're teaching children how to swallow tablets with use of resources from the KidzMeds project, which was put together by hospital up in Newcastle. And the resources are available on the Health Education England website, which I recommend that you look at. There they have resources that we use here on the wards, and we print them out. So there's a poster that you can see on the right hand side, nice and colourful, and go through the step-by-step process of how to teach children how to swallow tablets. And this poster comes in a leaflet form which we give to parents and carers as well. So this project that we're running here at University Hospitals Dorset is supported by an NHS Greener Fund that we've been granted, which is the Healthier Futures Action Fund. So we're very fortunate to have this money to help us roll out this project. So it's a very, very simple kit list that's needed to help support these education sessions. So a sports bottle, and as the cartoon shows, it's a sports bottle with a tip to it that helps squirt out the water. When I do an example later on, I'll show you the sports bottle that I'm using, and the tip on the end of the sports bottle can help with the swallowing technique. Also an array of different sweetie sizes. So on the slide, I've put on some Tic Tacs and some fizzes. These are the larger end of the scale. We also have teeny tiny sweets as well, such as hundreds and thousands. And we also print out the resources from the KidzMeds online resources. So, for example, there's a certificate. So we've got a little stash of certificates that we keep handy, so that when we've done a session with a child, we can fill out a certificate to say congratulations for doing Pill School, and the children tend to get really excited about this, which is nice. And then I've mentioned as well, the pamphlets are there for parents, and there's a poster. So we've laminated one, so it's a nice, easy visual to take to a session with you. Just some extra tips. So typically I would just fill a water bottle with some water, but if a child struggles to swallow a tablet or the sweeties with water, perhaps something with a thicker consistency, such as a smoothie, could be better. And if they don't particularly like drinking from a water bottle, a straw can have a very similar effect. So the kind of sucking motion through a straw can also help with getting the liquid and the tablet down. Also, there's some techniques that you can have in terms of your posture. So with tablets, we would say stay neutral, so in a nice upright position with your head kind of in a neutral facing forwards position. But with a capsule, some people prefer to lean forward, so dipping the head down, the chin kind of in a downwards position, and the capsule tends to float more so than the tablets do, and so that tipping of the head and leaning forwards can help the capsule kind of float down the throat. Also, if children don't necessarily want to have sweets, they're a bit sensitive to particular tastes, for instance, you could switch the sweeties for bits of bread in various sizes. Also, with this ongoing issue that we have with shortage of antibiotic in liquid form, I just want to highlight that the Specialist Pharmacy Service have recently published some guidance online about how we can use solid oral dosage forms in various ways. So opening up capsules, crushing tablets. So say, for instance, you do Pill School and you think, oh, I think they've managed a Tic Tac, we'll send them home with a tablet or capsule. But then they go home and they struggle a little bit. At least now we've got guidance from the SPS where we can advise, okay, they're not managing their tablet, you could crush it and mix it with some yogurt, for instance. So it's good to kind of use the SPS guidance as a bit of a backup. And that's it for my slides. So I thought I might run through how to do a session and what that might look like. So first off, I'm just going to show you what I take to a session with me. So this is the laminate of the poster. Also the pamphlet for the carer or the parent. A blank certificate that we've got on nice paper. Also, with the funding that we've got from NHS Greener, some of that money has been used to buy some water bottles. Admittedly, these aren't the best because those tips don't really help with squeezing the water out. This bottle is a little bit better. Or think a Lucozade Sports bottle top. That's a little bit better. And then I've got sweets of various sizes. So some fizzes here and some Tic Tacs. And we keep everything in a nice box. So I've also got some hundreds and thousands as well, various sizes. So these are the little teeny tiny ones, going up a little bit bigger to the kind of stars. You can see we're running a little bit low on these middle ranged ones, but it's kind of having a gradual step from teeny tiny, small, medium size, and the biggest that we really tend to go to at the moment are the fizzes. So a session is really simple, doesn't take too long. I just explain to them what we're going to do, and then I've put an array of little sweeties inside this little pot. So you can see got the teeny tiny ones, various colours. And then what I might do is say, how about you choose a sweetie that you feel comfortable with, choose what colour you want. And let's assume they go for a little blue one, a little 100,000 blue one. And then I'll say, how about you choose one for me? What colour do you want me to have? They might choose me a pink one. And then what I say is, we're going to put this little sweetie in the middle of the tongue towards the back. And then what I want you to do is take 3 big squeezes of your water and swallow it. And then it should go. That's it. So I'll just demonstrate. So I do it with them as well, so it's collaborative. So pop the sweetie on the tongue. Mm, mm, mm. And that's it. It's gone. Usually it's absolutely fine with the teeny tiny one, and then we just need to work upwards. So some of them might feel very brave and go straight for a tic tac. Some of them might want to go in the middle. And what it is that there's scope then to, maybe if they're over ambitious and go for a big tic tac, we might say, okay, maybe that was a bit difficult. Let's just take it down a step and just adjust as needed. I've had sessions where they're very confident and they're very happy to go for a big size straight away and nice and easy. Some others are a bit nervous. Some children might want assurance from their parents, so sometimes I encourage mum or dad to get involved as well, and just kind of adjust it and not put too much pressure on them. So let's say we get up to a tic tac, exactly the same kind of principle. Put it on the tongue in the middle, 3 big squeezes, so nice upright position. And there we go. It's gone. Very straightforward, nothing special about it. And then just be very encouraging. Filling out the certificate is really nice. I've also done it if they don't feel very comfortable doing it in that session. I might send the little pot of sweeties home with mum and dad and say, why don't you just practice at home? They could try it with a smoothie at home, and then mum and dad can fill in the certificate at home once you've managed. And I've given them the leaflet, so it's got all the nice simple steps on there. There's some little top tips as well to kind of help mum and dad. So yeah, that's it really. And we do this with children really up from the ages of 5 upwards. Saying that I have got a child on the ward at the moment who's 4 years old and is very, very confident swallowing tablets. So it does depend. You could target younger, but at the moment we're going for 5 years upwards. Also, just bearing in mind that there could be some restrictions to perhaps starting this in a young child. So we haven't necessarily started doing this with children with autism, and we do look into whether a child is neurologically able to swallow tablets. There might be reasons not to. Also, just bearing in mind with children with autism that they can be very sensitive to flavours. So sometimes liquid is really what they need, but on the other hand as well, they might really dislike flavours of liquids. And so actually the tablet form works for them better. So it's treating everyone as an individual in this. Also, so the sweets, bearing in mind you can get sugar-free sweets so that it's suitable for diabetic patients. Also thinking about people with dietary requirements. So is it vegan? Is it halal? Is it kosher? There are some empty capsules that you can buy online if you'd rather not use sweets. I also mentioned about the bread. So if someone's gluten intolerant, you could buy gluten-free bread, etc. And yeah, so I hope the session was useful, and I'm happy to be contacted if anyone wants further information. Thank you very much for tuning in.